Open your eyes. Welcome to this avatar experience. You will soon hear instructions chosen by your partner. Follow these instructions to your own ability and desire. Make it as dramatic or as subtle as you wish. Remember to stay safe and stop whenever you want. When in doubt of what to do, relax and enjoy the art. Now, start by doing just that. Enjoy. Become a part of this. Explore. Could this be a dream of yours? Follow. Become light. Imagine that you are becoming dust. Become small. Let go.
The work presented here was part of the GIFT project, an EU-funded interdisciplinary project with the aim to help museums overcome some of the challenges involved in using digital technology to engage their visitors. My name is Karin Ryding, and as part of my PhD research, I designed and developed Never Let Me Go. I have a background in experimental game design, but in this case with Never Let Me Go, the main inspiration came from performance artists such as Janet Cardiff and Blast Theory, and their immersive work where they use the voice giving instructions. The idea was also to experiment with designing a generic mobile app that could be used in any large to mid-size art museum, gallery or sculpture park. My belief was that the art museum would be an ideal space for the design ideas I had, because it provides this very rich semiotic, affective and liminal environment. Altogether 20 people took part in the main trial of Never Let Me Go at the National Gallery of Denmark. Most of the couples knew each other well. They were recruited through social media and email lists, and the data was gathered using observations and interviews after the test sessions.
My name is Jonas Fritsch, and I've had the pleasure of working with Karin on this paper. I'll present some of the theoretical underpinnings that go into the work. We actually connect existing work on affect and emotions within HCI and interaction design with a so-called affective turn within critical and cultural theory. Here we see affect conceptualized as an inherently relational thing arising in between in those intensities that pass between bodies, be they human, non-human, part bodies and otherwise. Building on Spinoza, Brian Masumi has suggested that affect accounts for a pre or a non-conscious dimension of experience that is directly tied to transitions in our capacity to act in the world. Changes in relations are felt as changes in affective intensity, constituting proper affective encounters or encounters with affect. In my own work, I've tried to use this as a way to suggest an agenda for effective interaction design, basically combining micro interactions with changes in macro relations and how that is afforded through different kinds of technology. In the paper, we build on this understanding of affect as an in-between relational and more than human concept whose intensity ultimately colors our engagement with ourselves, with the world and with each other. And now Karin will situate this conceptual endeavor in relation to play as a catalyst for affect.
Most often play is described as unproductive, free and voluntary, uncertain, separate, make-believe and governed by rules. It's also often emphasized that it's intrinsically motivated and driven by curiosity. A unique quality of play is how it gives us agency to explore and create new forms of agency. In this sense, play is a very specific way in which to relate to the world. It involves both an assertive and inquisitive stance towards things around us. Our own bodies, abstract ideas, feelings, anything that we choose to play with. Play as a way of exposing us to the unexpected and the in-between dimensions of experience. Next, we wish to share our insights from this study in terms of the implications of using play design as a relational strategy for museums.
To begin with, we would like to emphasize emergence as a key concern. In many ways, emergence could be seen to go counter to traditional strategies for communication and dissemination in the museum world, where the primary aim can often be to curate and control the experience from a predetermined set of already given constraints. Relations are put into motion and new potentials are actualized. By changing the constraints from curation to emergence, what we see is an actual intensification of the experience of and connection to the artworks and the museum as an institutional and architectural space. In addition, we also see something else, namely that the couples engaged in the experience encounter each other anew. Not only is the museum experience intensified, so too is the relationship.
We believe that intimacy and ambiguity are also key concerns. When intimacy is coupled with ambiguity in the design of systems for communication, it often leads to an active reinterpretation based on the relational activation. When it comes to play design, elements of ambiguity is important to spark the playful mindset or to encourage curiosity or exploration. In Never Let Me Go, intimacy and ambiguity were integrated both into the system architecture and into the content.
We can see from the overall design process and the ensuing evaluation that it's absolutely necessary to establish trust on a number of levels. Trust in the situation, trust in the system, and trust between participants. When working with powerful materials such as relationships, intimacy, ambiguity, and affect, ethical considerations are highly important. It should never only be a question of intensification, but of developing appropriate frames and constraints.
Thanks for listening. I hope this sparked your curiosity enough so that you will read the paper. Bye for now.